All right. Good morning, everybody. Welcome to Early Morning Crypto Talk. Bitcoin Brandon from Los Angeles, California. Go ahead and kick things off. As a disclaimer, first and foremost, I am not a licensed financial advisor to be giving financial advice. I read the news, give my opinion, share a suggestion, and it is up to you to make an informed, intelligent decision on which direction you want to move into. Let's see, who do we have on? Go ahead and type your name in the chat box. I see Anthony Simon from Houston, Texas. Tony Pinkston from Philly. Paul Jenkins from Georgia. Joseph Riches from Nigeria. Derek Furrier from Flint, Michigan. Angeline from New York. Gerald Gardner from Detroit. Jamie Rodriguez from Edinburgh, Texas. Deborah Coulter. Good morning. Good morning. Lorna Vasquez, Hanford, California. I see Gerald Gardner from Detroit. There's 4 rules I live by to have success in the crypto space. Rule number 1, education is key. Education is everything. Rule number 2, never invest money you cannot afford to lose. Rule number 3, always get a return on investment back as fast as possible. And rule number 4, where do you see yourself in 3 months, 6 months, a year from now? What are you willing to do to make that happen? Make a decision, find a vehicle, stay focused, do not get distracted. Now, following these rules is not going to guarantee you success, but it will at least minimize your risk. And that, ladies and gentlemen, is the most that we can ask for. So let's go ahead and get started. I see Deborah from Colorado, Clevie Stewart from New York City, Lorna Vasquez, live from South Africa, Shandu, welcome, Provis Lofties, Corpus Christi. Also, I want to say thank you for those of you who came out and supported our soft launch last night of my very own crypto education platform. You know, up until this point, I've only been providing crypto education audio and video training series to companies, KGX, Coinbit Pro. The latest is the University of Nigeria in Africa, and then offering one-on-one consultation. You know, an hour with me is about $175, and I got to the point people keep asking me, do you have any content that I can use? And outside of the 2 companies, Coinbit Pro is focused on learning how to trade. KGX never really got off the ground yet, so I created my own. And now we have something to point to. And again, this is not network marketing. This is not in competition with anybody. This is not MLM. This is not a compensation plan. There is no recruiting. The only thing it has is a 1-tier affiliate referral program. For those of you that want to refer to others, it is strictly education, and then taking that education and applying it. So thank you guys for coming out and supporting last night. I posted the recording, and you'll start to hear a lot more from me about it, as well as marketing and advertising. So let's go into what's going on with the markets today. Crypto market cap is at $336 billion. It is up 3.2%. That's a good sign. Bitcoin dominance has fallen 56.4%. So the altcoins have had a good 24 hours. Good rise. Let's take a look. See, Bitcoin's at 10,200, up 1.3%. Ethereum is up 2.4%. Tether is in the red still, so the market is still moving in the positive green. Ripple is up 1.5, Chainlink 4.2, Polkadot 4.5. So we've had a bounce. Whether this is a flat basketball bounce or not, we'll see. Best performers over the last 24 hours. Solana, 44.9%. CDAI, 22.4%. YFI, 22.2%. Serum, 16%. AVE, 12.5%. See any top coin? No. Cosmos, Ontology. All right, what about worst performers? Blockstack is down 6.6%. Wow. The worst performer was only down 6%. So, yeah, the entire market had a bounce last night. All right, so let's take a look at some of the news. And I'm going to be excited about today's news. But first up, did this this $50 billion whale trigger massive Bitcoin and crypto market reversal? Possible. Whenever you see whale movement, it is never about the market going up. When you see whale movement, the market's about to go down. In my experience, others might have seen something else. Bitcoin, the overall crypto market, and equities in the U.S. are reeling from sharp pullbacks in the past week. The stock market tumble coincides with the news that Japanese multinational conglomerate SoftBank has been placing gigantic and risky option bets on tech stocks, which some analysts argue artificially paved the way to the massive NASDAQ composite and S&P 500 rallies in August. Matty Greenspan, the founder of Quantum Economics, says the SoftBank news breaks down a lot of myths that were created about the stock market last month, and he wonders about the impact it had on crypto. Ooh, the impact. So all the narratives about the Federal Reserve, QE, new retail money, stock splits, tech equities being immune to the virus, and pure momentum have fallen by the wayside. And now it's clear that a record-breaking month of August was largely due to a single player. With the amount of $4 billion, which was levered up to a notional amount of about $50 billion, it seems to have been enough to carry the wayward index to unbelievable and unrealistic new highs. So did the Japanese equity whale affect Bitcoin and the subordinate altcoin and DeFi markets? Greenspan, a former senior market analyst at eToro, examines the potential correlation between Bitcoin and the NASDAQ to see if the news of SoftBank's bets contributed to Bitcoin's current slide. He points to the traditional correlation between the S&P 500 and Bitcoin, which have been tightly connected in past cycles and throughout 2020. As for whether SoftBank had a direct effect on the price of Bitcoin, Greenspan says Bitcoin began its downward trend slightly ahead of the NASDAQ, which could indicate the crypto markets were beginning a downtrend on their own. So we're seeing a correlation here. Those I tell my friends that's in the stock markets, and they're looking at Tesla stock and Apple stock and Amazon stock, and they went down, so did Bitcoin. Greenspan also analyzes Bitcoin's current trajectory. After several dips below 10,000, he says the lack of volume is concerning. The analyst believes Bitcoin could potentially carve a bottom at $9,000. Well, it's inevitable. I believe Bitcoin is going to carve a bottom at 6,000. It's just my opinion. I hope I'm correct on that. People, Brandon, are you crazy? Why would you want Bitcoin to drop all the way down to $5,000, $6,000 range? Why would you want to do that? Well, education. Because the longer we have the ability for Bitcoin to be cheap, we're able to stack sats, meaning stacking Satoshis, buy more of it while it's cheap. Because when that rocket ship takes off, it ain't coming back. You'll be able to tell your grandkids, I remember when Bitcoin was less than $10,000 a coin. They're going to look at you like you're crazy. Watch. And they're going to say, how much did you get back then? No, I couldn't afford it. They're going to look at you again like you're really crazy. All right, next we want to get into, and I found these articles through my cousin, Marnita. Now, I am a gamer. I don't game as much as I used to. The only games I play now, Battlefield and NBA 2K. And it's more NBA 2K mostly because I can pause it and stop it, and I don't have to play with nobody, and it's just stress relief. But back in the day, I played everything, Grand Theft Auto, MMOs, massive multi-online player games. I never played War of Warcraft, but I was very, very big on Matrix Online. So big that the clan that I was the leader of was featured in the magazines for Gaming Network, at Comic-Con, and all that stuff. I was real big on that stuff back in the day. My clan had about 1,500 members in just our clan alone. So that was back in the day. But I still love the gaming. I can't wait for PS5 to come out. My kids love, well, one of them really loves gaming. You know, this new generation, I don't understand this. See, I grew up in the Nintendo age of the 80s. My very first set was ColecoVision. Maybe my earliest memory, I was 3 or 4, 79, 80, that my grandpa got me. It was ColecoVision and Atari. And then really it was Nintendo. And me and my cousins and friends, we would fight over those joysticks. You only had 2. We would fight over our turn to play. We hated watching them play. This generation, they will sit there on YouTube and watch other people play a video game. And when I first saw them doing this, I'm like, what are you doing? Like, well, we're watching them play. I'm like, you got the game in the living room. Why don't you go play it? No, we want to watch them play. I'm like, I don't get it. But then they said, that's because you're old, boomer. I'm like, I'm not even a boomer. I'm a Gen X. So I guess that's the new term for if you're old, no matter what year you were born, they call you a boomer, this new generation. But they love watching other people play. Now, I'm not talking about, Caldwell, football and basketball. Yeah, we love watching that. In high school and college, I played it. But video games? You want to watch others? But that leads to a new trend. You realize that e-gaming is going to be bigger than regular sports. E-gaming is going to be bigger than basketball, the NBA, bigger than the NFL, bigger than Major League Soccer or football in Europe and the rest of the world. Because you have far more people that don't have athletic ability that has video game control ability. And there's no age barrier. These 11, 12, 13, 14-year-old kids are kicking butt. One e-gaming tournament last year, the winner made more money than the winner of the PGA Tour and at Wimbledon. They have in Asia stadiums, 50,000, 70,000 people packed into a stadium to watch these e-game tournaments, especially with the way coronavirus and COVID is right now. And society is adjusting and adapting to how we entertain ourselves. Like, I love watching WWE wrestling. And I remember when COVID first came, that first Monday night Raw, there was no audience, and it was weird. But the show had to go on, right? And then, like, 2 weeks later was WrestleMania. And they did WrestleMania in their own studios, and there was no audience, no crowd, and seeing how the wrestlers were trying to adapt to that. But since then, they now have this, they call it the Thunderdome, where they have all of these LED displays, and people are able to watch from home with their faces like this, like they're in the crowd. The NBA does this. If you look at the NBA playoffs right now, behind the court where you normally will see the stands, they've got virtual fans and stuff like that. This is the future. Next, like you see on the screen right there, you're from home, you're going to have your virtual headsets and you're going to be in the stadium. I mean, the applications for this is mind-boggling. I wish I was 20 years younger than I am right now. 44. I wish I was 24 years old living right now at this time. I'm still pretty young, have enough time, but knowing what I know, man, I can't wait to see how this technology over the next 10 years is gonna pan out. But anyways, let's talk about, got 2 articles here covering this. Binance buys virtual property in blockchain game, The Sandbox. And one thing that you need to understand, and I teach this in the crypto education courses, is that blockchain is the internet 2.0. It takes the internet to the next level. You see, the internet allowed for the fast speed and transmission of information. That's why they called it the information age. However, you're only transferring copies of something, because what was illegal was the transferring of music, movies, because you don't have the intellectual rights to do that, and you're cutting in on, people's their livelihoods there. You're not buying the music. Can I say this? I haven't bought music before my son was born. My youngest, he's 13. Maybe 15 years ago, 20 years ago was the last time I walked into a music store and actually bought music. I don't buy from Spotify or Apple iTunes or any of that stuff. Yet I have access to every single song I ever want. I'm not saying how or none of that stuff. I'm just saying. So, and then movies, I only pay for movies when I go to the theater. I can watch any movie that I want, even if it's in the theater, whenever I want to. I'm not saying how. I won't get in trouble, but I'm just saying. But the blockchain now, it does what the internet could not do. The blockchain now allows you to transfer property and assets from one individual to another virtually. So when it's transferred, it's gone. This was never possible before. This is the future. There's a video game, a lot of women play this more than men, called Second Life. Now, some of you may know what that is. But Second Life was like a virtual world that allowed you to create content in it and sell it for real world dollars. You create your avatar, you upgrade it by how much money you put into it. These new video games now are what they call freemiums, that you're able to play for free, but you use real world money to upgrade the content. My son plays Minecraft and Fortnite. I guess that's his version of like Call of Duty and what was the other one? Well, anyway, like Call of Duty, Battlefield. But they upgrade themselves by paying real money. Farmville, you guys remember that one? Or Candy Crush, I don't know. I think you had to pay for that app, but I didn't pay for Candy Crush. But that's the future of how gaming is going to work. They're going to give it to you for free, or they may end up saying, we'll pay you to play. That's going to be next, too. Watch, if you have not watched Ready Player One, watch that movie. Because that's exactly what this is. This is the beginning of that. Being able to purchase virtual property so nobody else can have that. It's yours, and the blockchain is saying this property belongs to this person. Nobody else can have it. That's the next frontier. What happens when you run out of land, places to live? The next frontier is going to be this whole virtual stuff. So the cryptocurrency giant Binance has acquired virtual space within the blockchain gaming platform, the Sandbox. Now, I heard of the Sandbox. I've never played it. I don't know what it is. So let's see. I'm buying 4,012 land tokens, each of which is a non-fungible token representing a piece of unique virtual real estate. Virtual real estate in the Sandbox metaverse. The Sandbox virtual world allows its users to own, create, and monetize their gaming experience using the native utility token of the ecosystem, Sand, as well as land tokens. Binance plans to use its lands to organize social gaming events such as NFT and game creation contests within the Sandbox platform and reward the best creators of the contest with lands. Scheduled for a public beta release in December 2020. So it's not really, nobody can actually play this really yet, huh? A public beta release. So they're in a private beta right now. The Sandbox has so far organized 4 land pre-sales and sold tokens worth 1.5 million. The demand for the gaming platform and its metaverse real estate NFTs has risen since its first token sale, where it sold 3,000 pieces of land within 4 hours. The next 3 pre-sales saw similar interest, with most tokens being swapped within the first few hours. As Coin Telegraph earlier reported, the major buyers of land during the pre-sales were the renowned crypto companies such as Crypto Kitties. I still never understood Crypto freaking Kitties. My Crypto Heroes, Old School Games, and Dap.com. Gaming giant Atari. Atari's still around? Is also a partner of the Sandbox and is creating blockchain versions of classic games such as Asteroids, Centipede, and Pong. Named as one of the most anticipated blockchain games. Okay, just because of that, I'll be playing it. I got to check it out. The Sandbox already boasts a whopping 40 million downloads and over 1 million active users. How do you download this? Is it an app? Let me do a quick look. Is it on the Play Store? Sandbox. Yeah, Sandbox Games. Let me take a look. Oh, well, it's Sandbox Games. It's just not Simple Sandbox 2, Sandbox Family Communications. I got to do some research on this. How do I get my hands on it? Sandbox Strategy and Tactics. Just Sandbox Destruction Simulation. Kind of looks like Minecraft type stuff. And my kid hasn't said nothing about it yet. All right, so let's see here. Named as one of the most anticipated blockchain games, the Sandbox boasts 40 million downloads and over 1 million monthly active users. The Sandbox also recently concluded a $3 million fundraise on Binance Launchpad. Now the platform expects to further the adoption of blockchain games and NFTs by tapping into Binance's large user base. Oh, they're about to make a killing. So Binance is going to be advertising this stuff to their database. This is millions. Yeah, they're going to make a killing on that. All right, next up. Again, this is saw my cousin post this. How the Internet of Things is changing the gaming industry. Now, as I said last night, for those of you who are on my soft launch, one of the things that you're going to be hearing from me a lot, especially over the next 6 months, is all about the Internet of Things. The Internet of Things is the future. Connecting smart cities. There's also opportunity in this that I will be making available publicly. Right now, it's private. I haven't been given the permission yet to go public, but soon I will. You'll be hearing about this. So how the Internet of Things is changing the gaming industry. Gaming as an industry has come a long way since the days of playing Pong in your best friend's living room. Virtual reality, you guys remember that? I remember playing Pong. I mean, my kid looks at that today. I was like, you guys, that entertains you? Watching the ball go back and forth and the little thing, that really? Yeah, we had Pong tournaments when I was a kid. Virtual reality, augmented reality, newly redeveloped graphics, and a dedication to storytelling have made the games of today more enveloping and engaging than ever before. One of the latest developments to take the gaming industry to the next level has been the Internet of Things. Now, I want you to read that again. Taking the gaming industry to the next level. Internet of Things. Those of you who are already part of our CDL program, you have to understand something. You've got to have vision here. Once the railroad tracks have been laid, and then all of these IoT things come to play on the network, the revenue that's going to be generated. You got to have vision on this, understanding this. So the Internet of Things is a phrase used to refer to the way in which the Internet connects all devices with a computer chip inside of them. Most commonly, it has to do with how a person's smartphone connects to and communicates with other devices, be that your home computer, your personal car, or your smartwatch. So in other words, this is not something that is coming. This is something that is already here and going to be expanded upon, because every electronic device already has it. I mean, I'm working 2 phones right now. 2 phones. No, one of my phones is not a trap phone. Brandon, why do you have 2 phones? For business. I'm always doing multiple things. You can see my setup in my working space is like Starship. I've got 3 TVs, 2 laptops going, 1 tablet, and 2 phones. So every device has a chip on it. It's collecting data. Even this mouse can connect to. I have 3 of my laptops. This mouse connects to, and I have a portable keyboard, and I can switch to each of my devices. I mean, think of this: how many Wi-Fi devices do you have in your home right now? How many Wi-Fi devices do you have in your home right now? I want you to think about that. Dagmar, where is that article? This article? headstuff.org. I'd have to go. I'll post this at the end. But headstuff.org is this article. But think about it. Count how many Internet of Things devices or Wi-Fi devices, because those are Internet of Things, do you have in your home? And when I was counting mine up, you think of the obvious. You think of your computers, then you think of your cell phones. But the other things you don't think of is I didn't think of my smart TVs, my printer, my wireless tablets and keyboards and mouses. Or what about your refrigerator? If you've got a smart refrigerator, think about these little things. What about your smart watch? You might end up 15 to 20 devices in your home. So, and this is just the beginning. So the Internet of Things is a phrase used to refer to the way in which the Internet connects all devices with a computer chip inside of them. Most commonly, it has to do with how a person's smartphone connects to and communicates with other devices, be that your home computer, your personal car, or your smartwatch. However, the IoT also incorporates the ways in which people connect to the devices of their friends. And when it comes to gaming, that means connecting to one another's consoles. Do you know how much we wish we had that back in the 90s? That my first experience with what was called LAN was when I was in college. When I was at Morehouse, one of the geniuses there figured out a way. One, we connected all the computers in our computer lab. And so after dinner time, we had certain computer hours, but then after regular hours, maybe at like 10 o'clock at night, they would open it up so that we can go play video games. And the hottest game at that time was Doom, if you've ever played that game. And if you hook all the computers together, then everybody can be in the same game at the same time. You're not just playing computer characters. You're playing against each other. No NPCs. I mean, non-player characters. I got to remember, I can't be using gaming talk. People don't know what I'm talking about. There's not NPCs. You're playing against each other. And then we got it to a point, girls like the game too. So they figured out how to connect the computer lab of Spelman and Clark. We couldn't figure it out at Morris Brown, but we got Spelman and Clark. And we figured out how to connect all 3 schools together. So we had Doom Wars late at night. That was so fun, and I got to tell you, a lot of times the girls kicked our asses. We didn't think they could play, they could game, but they were gamers. They knew how to play. So this is on steroids now. So in connecting each other to the gaming consoles, the increasingly mobile nature of the IoT has enabled gaming, which was once a solitary activity, to break out into the real world as a social activity that friends and family alike can do together. This may mean games that encourage or require outdoor activity, or it may mean the gamification of social interaction, or even exercise. Whatever the specific case, the fact remains that the IoT has caused ripples through the gaming industry that has changed it forever. Now I saw the specs on the PS5. It now allows, it's going to be able to play all PS4 games. You'll also be able to play against people that have, what's that other console? PCs versus PlayStation versus, what's that other console? It's like Android versus Apple, and my house is an Android house. The other console, my son briefly asked about that. I'm like, what are you talking about? We only do PlayStation. But I can't remember the other console's name. But they can cross over and you can play against each other. You don't have to be on the same console. IoT Xbox, that's what it's called, Xbox. IoT makes gaming mobile. Think about that. Most people play their games in their living rooms or their bedrooms. How about being able to play those games mobily? Mobile gaming and the IoT combined with augmented reality. Augmented reality. Okay, let's pause for a second. There was a game that I think it was Pokemon Go. Maybe 2 or 3 years ago, they did it augmented reality, meaning the playing field now was the real world. And so it was like GPS on your app, and the Pokemon would pop up around different parts of your city. And people would rush to those areas trying to catch these stupid Pokemon. It's not really there, but when you point your phone, you see it on your phone using the GPS mapping system. I saw this one thing in New York where this I guess it was a rare Pokemon drop happened in this park, and people literally stopped their cars on the street and were running into the park with their cars still on the street for this rare drop. You guys remember that? That's augmented reality. There's a video, there's another cartoon or animated show called Sword Art Online. Sword Art Online. I have seen that. There's maybe 4 of them, seasons of it. I've seen it twice because I love this kind of stuff. And there's just a virtual reality where you're in the game, but then they also have it augmented reality where you're walking and the game is with you. You put on these glasses, and the glasses that you have on, no matter where you are, you can do battling. Now that's real exercise. It's not an avatar. It's based on your real strength. Are you fast? Are you slow? Do you have skills? And that's going to be the future. Augmented reality and virtual reality mixed together. Oh, wait, here it is. Pokemon Go. Okay, let me read this. Getting excited here. Mobile gaming and the IoT combined with augmented reality have helped gamers to feel as if they're personally inserted into the narrative of the game, providing an even deeper connection to the media. For example, popular mobile game Pokemon Go puts the player in the position of a fictional monster trainer by making the view through their phone look as if Pokemon are in the real world. There's already even any suspension of disbelief required as the Pokemon are right there in front of the user. Next, you put on these glasses and you will see it in the real world. You will see these things. The technology is already there. They've got glasses that have facial recognition. So it's connected. I don't know if it was Google that was doing it or Microsoft, where it can recognize somebody's face and it pulls up their Facebook profile, their LinkedIn profile, their Twitter or their Instagram. Information about them pops up like a computer screen. You can be in a bar and the dating scene, and you meet somebody at the bar and they're telling you a BS story about them, and you're looking right at them, and their entire profile and background pops up in front of you. This technology is already here. Blockchain is going to make it available and use factor for everybody. So it used to be that in order to enjoy a game, you had to be tied to your console at home via a series of plugs and cables. Now, not only are controllers more mobile via Bluetooth technology, but many popular games sync across platforms. This means players can play on one device at home, then take the game with them via either their smartphones or tablets. Really, it's going to be in their glasses or their headset devices. Think of this, the hotspots, the Helium blockchain network, they extend 10 miles. Can you imagine a Pokemon Go augmented reality and all the hotspots are connected and the entire city is a playing ground? Or imagine this, a big empty field. There's another movie. What's the name of this movie? It cost a whole lot of money. I cannot remember the name, but it was starred this man and this woman, and they were young. And the plot of it is that humanity got so big that they had this huge space station. And then the space station started to combine with different aliens. And the space station got so large that it was a threat to Earth. So they had to push it off and floating through the universe. And there's a scene where they go to this desert world and it's flat, just desert. And then you see this wall and you can't go, once you go in the wall on the other side of it, it's still another flat desert. But when you go in, they give you these glasses. And the glasses, when you put them on, it's an entire virtual city. And everybody is acting out life in this virtual city with the glasses on. And any of you guys know what I'm talking about, you can put the name of that movie. You know what I'm talking about. I'm looking right at the movie. I just can't remember the name of it. But this stuff, imagine that today, the technology, they put these hotspots, these beacons around. So when you enter the space, you're entering the game. I'm even thinking of sports stadiums. Think of laser tag in a football arena. Oh, the possibilities is just amazing. All right, let's continue here. This spells out a lot of potential opportunity for profit and growth depending on the gaming model. Obviously, the more time players spend on a game and the more successful and popular a title becomes, the greater opportunity there is for the studio to expand the property into other games or sequels. People are going to make a living off of this. The reason why I stopped playing like Matrix Online, for example, and MMOs was because I was putting so much time in it. And I achieved such a high status in the game where my avatar was a celebrity. Anytime I showed up in any of the phone booths in the game or anywhere, everyone would come running over to me like I was freaking Morpheus. But it wasn't putting any money in my pocket. All right? You are, you're a hero in the game. It's like hood celebrity. And I'm like, if I've used my same skills in the real world, I can make a whole lot of money. And the reason why I had success in that game is because I used the skills that I learned in the direct selling industry and network marketing and how to build teams and recruit. And I did the same thing I did when I used to build businesses. I did it in the game, but the game wasn't paying me. But what if they were? What if the games paid you? And not just a little bit of money. There's kids out there making millions off this stuff. It's just getting started. So, let me read this. Obviously, the more time players spend on a game and the more successful and popular a title becomes, the greater opportunity there is for the studio to expand the property into other games or sequels. Okay, I got to say this. There was one event in the game that was so big, the company hyped it up for a while, and my clan won, and it was a huge deal. made the magazine and Comic-Con. And I was so excited about it that night. We were up to like 2, 3 in the morning. I went to work the next day. There you go. Thank you, Derek. Valerian. That's what it was. And the City of 1,000 Planets. That's right. Check out that movie. It didn't have as much success as it could have, but it's eye-opening. But when I went to work the next day, I was on cloud 10, right? Like I was the man at the time. And then reality hit. I'm back on a 9-to-5 job, barely making anything. And my coworkers had no idea what I just accomplished, what we did. That was a wake-up call. Reality. Because if living in that world, this is why people, especially in Japan, they get sucked into this kind of stuff, and they lose touch of reality, and they feel that their life only has meaning in this game, and that they're losers in the real world. And so when that took place, I was like, oh, I'm spending way too much time on this. This is not being productive. I got to take a step back. And I did. Anyways, so however, it is free to play games that will benefit most from the player hours. As the longer a player engages with their game, the more likely they are to spend small amounts on in-game upgrades and bonuses. Another bonus of mobile gaming gaining popularity is that it makes gaming more accessible to all types of people. Gaming consoles can be expensive and are often classified as a luxury item for many households. Smartphones, however, comes in a variety of price points, and regardless of income, is considered a necessity. Gamification of non-gaming activities. Okay, non-gaming activities. You know what? There was a video. Let me see. Ken, how long is this? Oh, it's too long. Oh, I played this video on my presentations, Internet of Things video. This was that Pokemon Go. You guys already know about that. Okay, gamification of non-gaming activities. One of the benefits of gaming mechanics being moved to IoT technologies, hotspot, is that areas, hey, I wonder if Prime Gate has plans in the gaming space. I'm going to have that conversation. I know they got their hands on everything. That didn't come up. Okay, mental note. One of the benefits of gaming mechanics being moved to IoT technologies is that areas of a person's life that hadn't been gamified before can now benefit from that process. For example, health and fitness apps have been experimenting with ways in which to make exercise feel like fun. The popular Zombies Run app, this is cool. You know, I'm in a Morehouse Spelman group, and for my generation, we're in our 40s now, and one of the difficult things is we want to maintain, you know, make sure we're in shape. And so I see the ladies, they've got this exercise bike, and it's got a screen on it where they have a virtual trainer, but it's live. The dude is not a video game. He's live, and they're all in it at the same time, and they're doing their little bike and exercising, and it's tracking all theirs, and their data is being they're shared with everybody else, so they can see how many calories is being burned, how many miles are each going, so they can pump each other up, and they can do it together, even though, you know, we're scattered across the country. So I've been seeing things like that, and we're going to be seeing more and more of this stuff, especially because of social distancing. What is that? Pelton bikes? Vivian knew what I'm talking about. And then I see them posting the results on Facebook and social media. So, for example, health and fitness apps have been experimenting with ways in which to make exercise feel like fun. The popular Zombies Run app pairs with the user's fitness tracker and smartphone to make the user feel like they're outrunning zombies and battling the apocalypse during their morning run. Oh, wow. So if you slack and you slow down, you're gonna get taken over. Really? That's interesting. Hold on, it's only a minute. I'm gonna play just a couple of seconds of this. I want to see.
We had a zombie attack last night, and we're low on everything. We need whatever you can find. Get going.
Collected a bottle of water, a radio, and a box of batteries. 2.4 kilometers, 17 minutes.
Right on your tail. Don't look back. Zombies attacked a nearby farmhouse. The survivors are on the roof. We can't just leave them there to die. Something's going on at those labs. We need you to investigate. What you find could save lives, even end the zombie plague. You'll have to go in alone.
5 kilometers, 29 minutes. Zombies detected.
They spotted you! Run, 5! You lost them. Come on home, Runner 5. We're one step closer to saving the world.
Here I go again, always freaking muting myself. Like I was saying, one of the things that this is so powerful about is the fact that it is giving you extra motivation to work out, making it fun. You know, whenever I work out, I've got headphones on with hype music on that keeps me pumped up, keeps me keeps me motivated. The reason why most people fail at working out, especially when the new year comes, and when the new year comes, they decide to put in a gym membership, and they go for maybe 2 weeks, and then they quit and go back to their old habits. The reason is because they don't see results fast enough, and it's depressing in their mind, and they're like, I'm working my butt off, I'm not seeing results, I guess I'll just give up. It's too hard, it's too tiring. But what if there's many rewards along the way that you're aiming for? And then all of a sudden you start seeing results. This is huge. This is very big. This is going to be an industry I'm going to invest heavily in. All right, so mobile gaming has helped to gamify some aspects of education. Tablets are becoming more and more commonplace in classrooms across the country, allowing students to feel as if they're playing games, while they're learning important core lessons. For example, many of us may remember playing the popular Oregon Trail. Yes, that's what I played back in the 80s with the Apple computers in our classrooms. Oregon Trail PC game while in elementary school, and now it's possible for more students to play similar games at the same time without having to jostle for the computer. Finally, popular language learning app Duolingo uses gamification to get users to learn and practice a new language. That'll be cool. Users can earn coins and pass. Let me make sure I am unmuted. So you guys, can you hear me now? Am I good to go? So finally, popular language learning app Duolingo uses gamification to get users to learn and practice a new language. Users earn coins in past levels by doing daily practice and exercises. They can then buy special lesson packages or outfits for the mascot owl with the coins they earn, giving them a payoff aside from their newly acquired skills. A deeper but not safer connection to media. Okay, let's talk about what's not safe. While Internet of Things technology creates a deeper the connection with media, it also may make it easier for users to forget about basic online safety protocols. For example, you know about Duolingo, Vivian? For example, returning to Pokemon Go, the mobile app had a vulnerability in its verification of players using Google accounts to log in. Essentially, by signing in with a Google account, users were granting the game unrestricted access to all documents, emails, photos, and information contained therein. Ooh, yeah, you don't want that. This means that although IoT technologies are exciting and open up worlds of opportunity for gamers and non-gamers alike, it's crucial to be smart in how you protect your information. The ease of logging into systems with a shared account may be appealing, but you should always be checking what permissions you're allowing applications to have. The good news is that it is sometimes possible to limit or select which permissions you grant an application. See, when you grant these things permission, do you know, like your laptops, they can turn on your laptop's camera or the microphone? See, most laptops have that little light, so you know it's turned on. But they can remotely turn that on without the light turning on. What I have what's called a camera filter, where all I have to do is slide it over, and even though my camera's on, you still can't see anything. This is very big because when I travel and I'm in hotels and stuff, I always have that filter closed. I don't know nobody seeing what I'm doing in my hotel room. And what I don't know about is the audio part. Them being able to remotely turn on the audio. I don't have anything for that, but at least you want to be able to cover your screen on your computer. So I have that on all my laptops. When I went to Seattle, for example, the hotel I stayed in was a smart hotel. The entire hotel was wired. The first thing I did when I went in the room was I unplugged Alexa because the convenience of it is you just lay there on the bed, Alexa, turn on the TV, Alexa, channel whatever, Alexa, room service, and it pops up on the TV screen, and you tell it what to order, and room service comes up. Alexa, I need to order an Uber or a taxi. Alexa, tell me some locations, what events are taking place, the time. Alexa, turn on the lights. Alexa, time, sleep, or wake me up at this. All of that stuff, that's very convenient. But Alexa's watching me as well, so I unplugged it. I don't play any of that. I'm still kind of old school on that kind of stuff. All right, so let me continue here. Where did I leave off? Okay. This means that although IoT technologies are exciting and open up worlds of opportunity for gamers and non-gamers alike, it's crucial to be smart in how you protect your information. The ease of logging into systems with a shared account may be appealing, but you should always be checking what permissions you're allowing applications to have. The good news is that it is sometimes possible to limit or select which permissions you grant an application. At the end of the day, if used smartly and correctly, the Internet of Things can make the gaming industry a place for all different types of people to connect together over a shared love of story and activity. You know what I look at this as? I'm a Star Trek geek as well. Yes, I'm a nerd. Star Trek had the holodecks. You look at the Next Generation and Voyager, you had holodeck technology. And you basically can live out novels and stories on the holodeck. That's what this stuff is. So at the end of the day, if used properly, it can make it connect people. People all over the globe can easily connect to play together from anywhere they may be at the moment, all with the push of a button. However, just like with any technology, use should be mixed with research and caution, but with security in mind. The possibilities for storytelling and user engagement through the Internet of Things on the horizon are endless. Endless. I mean, even right now, my son is in the other room, both of them. I have one in college and one in 8th grade, and they're both in separate rooms on their laptops, and they are doing their schoolwork, and they are doing, remote learning. And, I'm seeing how they're getting better and better, the teachers are, with how they're doing the lessons, how they're doing their homework and turning it in, and everything is digital. This new generation is growing up with this technology. This is all they know. So, we're going to have to be careful with balancing that with reality. My generation, we played outside till the sun came down. This generation don't want to leave the house. And they call that, but they say they're more connected than we were. I doubt that. I think it might stunt social growth development a little bit, or the way we interact is going to change. Let's put it that way. I don't want to say it's going to stunt them, because it's just a different generation. They do things differently. So anyways, that's exciting news. I might save this article. Yeah, I'm going to save this in my Internet of Things group, because that's powerful. My cousin Marnita found this article before I did, but it's right in line with what we're doing. That's another reason why I pulled the trigger on launching my own crypto education platform, is because I am turning back into education mode. Most people don't know what Internet of Things are. Most people don't know why it's going to be working with the blockchain technology, what cryptocurrency is all about, what the digital economy is all about. That's my passion. I teach it. So now I have a platform that if you're working with me and you go through my platform, I know by the time you come out of it, you're going to have a fundamental basic understanding of this space, and I can now work with you. We can do projects together. We can move around and stuff. So if you have not gone through it, then to me, you're suspect. I question your expertise, how much knowledge you have. But anyways, again, I want to thank all of you guys for hopping out. Dagmar, after I close this, I'm going to add this link into the chat box, so you can just just stay logged on, and you'll be able to see it right after I close this up. Let's see if I can do it. No, I don't want to have to go back. I got to find it. Let's go on to Facebook. Okay. Let's go to my page. Teach me cryptocurrency. Here we go. I might do a special Facebook Live later from my favorite park. It's a park where, when I used to have a 9-to-5 job, I would have my lunch breaks at every day, and we'd be there every day saying, one day I'll be able to come to this park whenever I want to, because I don't have a job anymore, and I fired my boss. So I might do a Facebook Live from there later today. So paste. All right, there you go. Did I paste it in the right place? I didn't see it pop up. Let me do it again. Since it's logged up. So again, today is not that much of a busy day for me, but today I am doing there it is. I'm doing an Up to Give presentation at 9 p.m. Eastern. A lot of three-way calls and stuff in the meantime. And maybe a Facebook Live later as well. So again, thank you guys for showing up last night for the launch
Eastern
of
a lot of three-way calls.
Crypto. If you are looking for cryptocurrency education that is not a network marketing company, that's focus is not on recruiting, 3coursecrypto.com. And we have a referral program. So if you refer others to the course, we'll give you a referral bonus. Bitcoin 101. You can bundle all three: Bitcoin 101, Crypto Advanced, how to trade Bitcoin and cryptocurrencies, or all three for $500. There's no monthly fee. There's no auto ship. Just one time, you have access to all the crypto you need. All right, everybody. Thank you guys for being here. I will see you all tonight for the Up to Give presentation and tomorrow for Crypto Talk again, and maybe a Facebook Live later. Brandon Ivey out. God bless. Bitcoin Brandon. Bye-bye.